to be finally here. Decided to give it the bit more of an Aussie look with the old moustache. I thought I'm off for work for 10-15 days, so let's see how it looks. I don't know how I feel about it at the moment, but hopefully it brings me a little bit of luck. But yeah, venue 1, as you can see, it's a pretty big place. It's probably, I would say, 250 acres, something like that. Now, why have we come here? So, to be honest with you, we wanted to sort of mix it up. We wanted to fish places where we knew had carp, places where we didn't know have carp, rivers, lakes, dams, etc. And we thought we'll start with probably the most unknown one of them all. Now, in terms of this lake, the only information I've got to go off is a proper sighting of decent carp over 8 years ago. So, as to my knowledge, a proper carp hasn't been seen in here. A proper decent carp hasn't been seen in here for 8 years plus. And to my knowledge, I don't, and it may have happened, but to my knowledge, I don't even know if it's ever done a carp. But if you look at the quality of the lake, it's crystal clear, it's weedy. Naturally, most places in Australia usually hold carp, but by the sounds of it, it's got next to none. And usually, if you're doing a bit of research on some of these Australian websites, naturally the Aussies are catching the odd one here or there. On the list of fish in this lake, carp doesn't even exist. No pictures of carp, no pictures of fish. So this is quite literally as unknown as it gets. There might not even be a proper carp left in here. I've got a friend that saw a couple of potential sightings of small fish not too long ago, a couple of years or so ago. But as far as I know, and I might be wrong, it's never done a carp. So yeah, what a way to start. God knows what could be out there. We've got 2 nights on here before we hit one of the wild rivers next. Me and Liam have set ourselves a target. If we can catch 1 fish from this lake in 48 hours, we'll be absolutely ecstatic. But what we're going for, we've got a massive bed of weed going 70-80 yards out in front of us, and then it drops off into deep water. Row 4 rigs out over the back of the weed, drop them down the shelf. Go pretty light with the bait to begin with, because again, we don't know what's in here. We don't know whether there's turtles, eels, all these different things that can get under your nerves. But fingers crossed we can get the rods out just before it gets dark. We'll have a bit of food beforehand, because there's a lot of bird life, a lot of coots, and this water is crystal clear. But yeah, if we can get the rods out tonight, a few handfuls of tigers, pigeon mix, pellet over the top, sit back, and if that alarm goes, I'm sure the legs will be shaking. So wish us luck, guys. Venue 1 of maybe 5 or 6. Let's hope we can get it off to a banger. Let's go, man. There we go. Almost sunset. Just watching the water. Just on the back of the wind. It's getting blooming cold now. It's probably about 9-10 degrees. I know that doesn't sound cold to you guys back in the UK, but if you've just been through a summer of 35-40 degree days for 4 or 5 months, trust me, 9-10 degrees is freezing. But yeah, we're on the back of the wind. Hopefully we might, if we're lucky, see a fish show, but I think that's probably going to be more of a first light thing. So we'll set the alarm first thing, and fingers crossed you see me before the morning. Wish us luck, guys. welcome to a bitterly, bitterly cold morning in Australia, but it's definitely a beautiful one. What a sunrise we've woken up to this morning. Look at that. No fish, not really surprised, to be honest. It got down to about 4 degrees, so it was pretty cold during the night, but we've literally just been treated to possibly the best mornings fishing I've ever had in Australia. Not through catching, but just sitting back and watching the sun come up. It's been absolutely incredible. I was saying to Liam a second ago, we were talking about the sunrise and stuff, and I said to him, I'd take this sunrise over a 40-pound Murray Cod later in the trip. Just absolutely breathtaking. But no, it was freezing last night, absolutely freezing. 4 degrees, which is very, very cold if you're basically an Australian now. But yeah, what a morning, what a morning. But yeah, the plan is leave the rods out till probably 10, 11 o'clock. There's no point in moving them. No real liners off fish or anything like that. A few ducks going through the braid, but no liners off carp. No fish have shown this morning. Probably no carp in here. Nah, there will be carp, but I'm sure there's very, very minimal. But nah, just keep an eye out, see if we can see anything. Get them in at about 10, 11 o'clock, and then we've had a bit of an idea to go out in the boat and try and fish for a few of the monster perch that are in here. Now, in Sydney, perch are very, very hard to come by, and this is probably one of the closest places to Sydney that's actually got monster perch. So we're going to go out, take a couple of jigging rods and just hover around out there for a couple of hours, see if we can catch one or two, and then probably get the rods back out, go to the shop and get a couple more supplies. But in the meantime, what a start to the trip. No carp, but I don't think I can complain with that. Right, let's get another coffee on the go. Can't go wrong. A bit of egg and bacon. And plenty of butter in that scrambled egg. Still no carp, but who cares?
At least we're having a feed. You should definitely get touched.
You got your GoPro on?
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
Nice little rainbow, bro. Wow. Oh, it's off.
Oh, no way.
That's funny,
That's sick. There you go. So, we noticed there's a little bit of low-lying silkweed out there. So, that's me tonight on the next go. I'm going to try a supple boom with a bit of a chod style, a couple of grains of fake maize that are glugged up. Try that on one rod, just popped up above the silkweed on the bottom. Still getting a really, really good drop, but I've got a gut feeling that this could be the way to go. This is the first time I've ever used one of these in Australia, but finally I found a place where I think it's actually worth using. Let's see what happens. Ready? Tighten up. That'll do, subtle. Yeah. Firm.
Yeah, that felt firmer than the last one.
Did it, yeah?
The opposite of yesterday.
Yeah, good.
They went down with the floods.
That's good. They're staying out till tomorrow then. They're not getting moved. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not moving them.
No, unless you catch fish.
There's no point, I've got artificial baits on both rods.
Yeah, they're not going to go.
If they both went down, okay.
It went down solid. Went down good. These wasps love your fucking bait. Suspicions confirmed.
From nothing to something incredible.
Crazy times. It's done though. We've
Completed it. We caught one carp out of here. Second night, 8 p.m. Pink pop up on a choddy. He's gone.
Hat, mate. She's beautiful.
Mega.
Here we have it, guys. It's only a little one, but considering the conditions we were up against and confirming some suspicions that we had that there's definitely carp in there from stories that Walker's obviously been able to pick up from a few people. There's definitely carp in there. She's only a little one. She looks like a new fish, so I mean, it's definitely a positive for the water knowing that there is some young fish in there that have definitely never been caught. Considering everything online says that there's no carp in there at all. Walker earlier on doubting the fact that I put a little pink tipper on the old bait, and it was a risk with the heavy stocks of trout in here. Low lying choddy with a little pink tipper on a pop-up, but there's a risk there. Luckily paid off. Mate. So the night's young. Hopefully we can catch whatever spawned her in here.
Yeah. Big or small, love them all, especially from a place like this. Go on, girl, send your mum to us. She's coming back. It's the first time she's ever seen a human being. She didn't want to leave. Good morning. What a difference a day makes. Look at that weather. We've got storms all night, rain rolling over the hills. Just that one fish last night. I had a couple of what could have been liners in the night. It was quite windy, quite rainy, but a few I had my alarms on pretty low sensitivity and I had a few savage beeps last night, so I think I might have had either an aborted take or at least a liner or two. But I'm going to slowly start the pack down. Look at that. Brutal. And then we're on to the next, get some breakfast, then on to the next venue. Hopefully the weather isn't like this where we're going next, but if it is, then at least it's relatively good weather for fishing. Let's see what happens. Now for the grim pack down.
Bit of a funny take in the night. As meant it's literally no indication once the fish was hooked, so hopefully we can see what he's attached to in a minute. So after all this chaos that Walker's been attached to, turns out it is a little carp. Absolutely giving him the run around this morning. Literally packed up camp, just cranking in the rods. And Walker said he had a couple of weird takes in the night, which weren't really.
Literally just a couple of beeps in the night, and I've come up in the morning, and I've had 2 fish on. Just literally 1 or 2 beeps.
They must have just ejected the bead and just sat back in the weed. For you to have not had a belting run, it's kind of crazy. We'll get her in the net and we'll throw up in the front of the camera for you guys.
So guys, at least we're leaving here with 1 carp each. Definitely not the big ones that I'm sure are probably in here. The one that Liam had last night was clearly a young fish. This again, it's only an upper single, mid-single size fish, but they've got to have come from somewhere. 15 years without a proper good carp sighting, and we've had two fish. Funnily enough, I had a couple of beeps during the night. I was fishing low sensitivity because of the wind, and I had a couple of beeps and I thought, oh, it's just the wind, or it's ducks going through the line. Same on the other rod. I've come out this morning just off 2 beeps during the night, and I've had fish on both rods. Reeling the first one in, I could feel the small head shakes and it come off, and again, it was probably another one of these small ones, but it looks like there's a few in here. It's definitely somewhere I'll be coming back to. Big sheet of water, big fish seen 15 years ago, and now a few small ones coming through, so there's got to be some hidden gems in here. But for now, I'm just happy to have at least caught one, so it's 1-1 between me and Liam, and then we'll be off onto the next venue before this rain comes in. Look at that. That looks savage. It's going to start pissing down, right? Let's get it. There you go. Pristine condition now.
Mate, the future's bright for
Can you
here.
imagine what the big ones look like? Proper nice fish, but yeah.
Pristine, mate.
We'll let it go. There we go. On to the next. Right guys, here we go. Location 2. What a vast piece of water this is. It's one of the big rivers that run through Sydney. This is one of the largest stretches on the river. It goes for a very large expanse of kilometres. I don't know how many, but I imagine that this stretch is probably, I'm guessing, 50, 60, maybe 100k long. I don't even know. It's a long way. I might be wrong, but the nearest lock down there is probably about 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4k. But then going that way, it's a very long way. In terms of fish, I know that there's carp in here. It's not a very easy place, but it's a lot easier than the last place we went to. In terms of what I'm hoping to expect, obviously a little bit of wind by the looks of it. But in terms of fish numbers, there's quite a fair amount of fish in here. Usually it's a bit of a night water, so I'm expecting a few bites during the night. There's a fair amount of smaller fish in here, but a very good head of 20 pounders. Quite a good number of 30 pounders as well. It's done quite a few in the past, and definitely a chance of a giant. So who knows what the next bite's going to be. It could be a 10 pounder, it could be a 40 pounder. But in terms of the approach that I usually take on here, I find that they love a bit of bait, and being river fish and being fairly well stocked, if you can put a fair amount of bait in, there's a good chance you can hold them in the area. There's a lot of eels, a lot of turtles, a lot of snags. So first thing we did, obviously have a bit of a plumb around, found a nice gravel area maybe 20 yards out. It's only about 8-9 foot deep. But these carp, as soon as that sun gets behind those mountains behind us, you can almost certainly guarantee they'll be up and down these margins, down the weed beds, hunting for food. So I've gone in relatively light, 10 spawns, something like that. A lot of eels and turtles, so it's just something to start building the swim. And gone in, same as always, same old hook bait you'll see me putting out for the majority of this trip. Expecting anything straight away? No, but I can't imagine it'd be too long. Certainly when it gets dark, till the first fish shows up. So fingers crossed. We've got Liam just down the bank there, Snake City. But no, fingers crossed. We're only going to fish here till tomorrow morning, but that's enough chance to suss the swim out and see if they're here. So fingers crossed, if we can bag a 20-25 pounder, that'd be awesome. Even a 30 would be amazing, but let's just take it as it comes. A 20 pounder would be nice to start with, but in the meantime, what a sheet of water that is. Epic. Come on, fingers crossed. Tonight is looking very, very promising. In the past 20 minutes, we've seen 6 shows, all along the same line that we're fishing, only 20 yards out, right along the bank where we've put all this bait. Surprisingly not had a take yet, given how many fish have showed, but 6 fish in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and 2 or 3 of them look like decent fish as well, so it's looking promising. To be fair, 4 out of the 6 have shown straight over Liam's spot, so the pressure's definitely on him. I'm just going to set the tripod up and hopefully get a video of one crashing out, because they're proper lunking out. Preparing for hopefully a busy night. We've seen 7 or 8 shows now. Getting a few bags knocked up. Good old Dom from Carpy Tackle, absolute legend, now making his own bait. They worked on the last place, so hopefully they work on here as well. Couple of hours left till dark. Just sat back then. Liam's left hand rod let out a few beeps. Fish had gone downstream and then a bit of a hook pull, but it's a promising sign as we only topped the spot up only 20 minutes ago and it's just getting dark now. So as I said, usually this place comes alive, so sign of things to come. Fingers crossed. Imagine fishing and a floating restaurant goes past. People sat down having a fucking 3 or 4 course meal. I wish the carp had eat. Well, it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Just kicking back on the old bed, a little bit of a wind on. But we've heard probably another 4 or 5 shows since it got dark. 2 of them sounded like really, really good fish, so at least we're on them. Putting a fair bit of bait, so I put in maybe 4 or 5 kilo of bait, so hopefully they're working their way through it and it won't be long till I get a take. But Jake had one not too long ago, just a small one. Flipped that one back. Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll be off here at around 7-8 in the morning. I did say earlier it's a bit of a night water, so fingers crossed in the early hours we'll be blessed with one of the good ones out the river. But if not, we'll be off early in the morning, and then we've got a big drive up to Canberra. So yeah, that'll be interesting. A few different places we can go to in Canberra. We're quite spoiled for choice up there, but it'd be awesome to finally put a decent one on the bank and get the trip rocking. Obviously those smaller fish out the previous lake, they're a massive result. I know they were only small, but to catch them from a place like that, from a place that's notoriously difficult in terms of not knowing what's in there, etc. So that was a good result, but it'd be nice to get a proper one now to get the trip rocking. And you guys obviously want to be seeing something that's not too bad either, so pressure's on. But nah, in the meantime, just enjoying being out. Plenty of time off work, and hopefully by first light you'll be seeing something sacked up in the margin. If not, it'll probably be another nice sunrise instead. So hopefully it's not just about the sunrises and we can get a nice carp or 2, but Fingers crossed. Fingers bloody crossed. There's fish number 2. Another one just to slip back. Hopefully they get a little bit bigger. Go on, girl. Get the rod back out. Another one. Cricket bat again. Mid double. They just keep coming, small ones. At least they're getting bigger, I suppose. He's a crusty old thing. Let's get him back. Another one, another small common. Look a good one, yeah. There's loads of fish crashing now though. There you go. Small cricket bat of the common.
Me.
Jake's playing one. Getting absolutely plagued by these small commons all last night, straight away this morning.
That was literally
Can't go over its lips, man.
Check the lips out on that one.
I was literally in for.
It's got a face on it
Crazy.
mother would love.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next place to get away from these, but I guess it's been good hearing the alarm go off. Went into an early morning fish. How's it feeling?
It's not too bad, but they all fight well in here, don't they? So
Yeah.
it's deceiving. 10 seconds and 2 single pieces of corn.
It's
Big
crazy.
corn. Wasn't even on the alarm. Instead the reel screaming off.
I reckon we'll see out another half hour or so and then get off onto the next place.
Yeah.
There we go. Probably one of the better ones we've had. Maybe mid-double. These river carp fight like hell.
Just long lean.
Yeah, long and lean. They've been suffering a lot of flooding recently. They've had some major floods where the water's been like 30, 40 feet up over the hill behind us here. And I think that's maybe contributed towards them being so lean. But nice fish, mate, before we depart. capital territory. Hopefully, about to catch some carp. Looking lovely. A lot of algae up the other end. Not so much algae down this end. So it's looking pretty promising. See what we can see. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Finally, after hours and hours of watching them fizzing and fizzing and fizzing, finally hooked one. Been the most frustrating morning fishing I've ever had. We must have had 20, 30 carp fizzing all over the swim, driving us insane. Finally it's gone. Oh, crikey. Yes! Yes!
Get in.
Man!
Oh,
oh my god, boys, we grafted for that. There we go. I know it's only a small one, but crikey, we've worked hard for this fish. It's been freezing cold, down to almost minus this morning. Baited this spot last night, got down here this morning, there's fish fizzing everywhere. Gut feeling says that they'd only just got on it first thing this morning. We put in about 20 kilo of bait last night, and they were fizzing for an hour, 2 hours all over our rods, and nothing was happening. Starting to question our sanity, but eventually it's gone. Probably one of the smaller fish in the lake, but I will take this 100%. There's much bigger in here, so fingers crossed. We'll definitely be giving it a few hours here, maybe put a bit more bait in. Hopefully this sunshine brings them on and we can bag a few more. Happy days for now, for sure. Sitting in the shade. Crikey, it's so hot today. Very, very difficult still. Yeah, only that one fish earlier. I'm going to give it a couple of hours here. We've just gone further out. The fish were feeding in the edge from where we baited up last night, so we caught that fish, obviously spooked them off the spot, and the fish have moved a bit further out by the looks of things. So yeah, we're going to give it a couple more hours here, just enjoy the sun, have some food. Yeah, it's looking nice, and then assess whether we do a night on here tonight or we go elsewhere. We'll just see how these next couple of hours pan out.
I didn't say my
What do they call you?
The Canberra Cod Whisperer.
The Canberra Cod Whisperer.
No,
Troyon.
Canberra Cod
Worst caster to someone else. He does not
you
know
are
how to
shit.
cast.
You are shit.
Cast
He
it!
cannot cast the same. He can't even hold the rod. Yeah.
There's no carp up there, mate.
That's what I know.
Right guys, we've made the call. We're we're on the move. We've seen enough there now. We had the rods out for probably half of the day, only managed the one fish, and the fish just sort of disappeared. So we've made the call, we've packed the gear. We're looking at a 2 to 2.5 hour drive now to the next place, up in the mountains. So pretty excited to get there, get the carp rods out, maybe chuck a cod rod out. But yeah, on the move. We've got plenty of time left. It's only Monday, we've got till Sunday, so we've got 6 days left in the tank. But what we're looking to do here is probably get a little bit ahead of the game, try and bag ourselves a nice carp. So we're going to go and fish a place where we know there's an alright chance, and then if needs be, if we've got 2 or 3 days spare at the end, we might come back to Canberra and see if we can pull it out the bag. But in the meantime, a sip of Red Bull because I'm shattered, and then a 2 hour drive into the mountains. So fingers crossed we can put something together, man. So, what was supposed to be a 2 hour trip to the mountains has become a 3 hour, 15 minute trip to the mountains because Liam decided to try and be clever and take the route across all of the mountains. We get 45 minutes into our journey and the road disappears and it just becomes a red dirt track, like an unfinished cobble road, and it's 100k left. Turn round, no signal, no GPS, no signal for about 25-30 minutes. Thankfully we've had to drive back to Canberra. We're back on the highway now, the way that I suggested we'd go. And our mate Jake, who's in his car, while we were setting off from Canberra, he goes, I found a quick way there, 1 hour and 50. So he's gone his way and he's not had any signal. We can't get hold of him for the past hour and 10 minutes. So the chances are he's on one of those red dirt roads in the buttfuck nowhere, and there's no doubt he'll have to turn around because they're savage, the roads, you just can't go across them. So yeah, good trip so far. Plenty of big carp caught, lovely scenic route in the mountains, and now we've lost our mate. What more could go wrong? Those little
You
pockets.
have reached mailbox number 04.
Not looking good, bruv.
little update. We managed to get hold of Jake for what was about 12 seconds, and all I heard was the sat navs took me up these red dirt tracks, and then he lost connection. So God knows where he is. It's like we're on Mars. What a place. Already had one show of me. Crazy dam. So vast. The water's down probably 60 foot, 70 foot. Usually you're bivvied up in the trees all the way up there. Or I have been in the past where I've been bivvied up in the trees right up there. Caught so many fish off here. just crazy to see the features that are out here that we were fishing to a year or so ago. This big bowl here would be a mega area. When the water comes up, you'd probably be able to you'd be fishing to that with a boat. You'd probably be able to just about chuck it from the bank up there. Savage. What a place.
That's the first daytime bite we've had since we've been here, eh?
Can't believe it. It's been fishing so slow.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. We've moved spots. Wind's chopped and changed. We've been absolutely battered by it day and night, but a few in the night. Hopefully we can get something going over these baited spots and put some better fish on the bank is what we need.
Got one. How's that? Just doing the same routine, going out to the marker that I've got out there. Don't know whether we're going to give it one more tonight and then go in the morning, or perhaps give it another night after that, but Jake's just caught one. We've started to see a couple of fish show, so I'm going to go out and get my marker in, because the fish in here go off like rockets and I don't really want to fish locked up with braid. So I go and get my H block in for the night, and while I'm out here give it a bit of bait. So, nice little sunset, looking all right. There we go, and that nice little common with a double rainbow right behind. We're not struggling to catch carp at the moment, but
Nothing really special.
Nothing special coming along, so we might need a bit of a change up again. But it seems like the theme of the trip: lots of nice views and no big carp. But yeah, catching loads of small ones on this trip. Where are the big girls at?
Oh. Is there gold at the end of the rainbow?
I hope so, mate. So we've got 4 nights left. Have we got 4 nights left? Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, yeah. I'm losing my marbles here. Probably just going to sit out on here for another night. We're definitely in an alright zone. Last night I heard a few fish crashing off here. So we're definitely in a zone where carp want to be, at least at night anyway. See it out for another night here and then maybe debate a move somewhere else, because we need at least one good carp. 10-day trip. we need at least one good carp. But yeah, at least we've got to see loads of different venues, which is always nice. It's still been a good trip, but yeah, it only takes one bite. Still hoping for that one bite off a good one. Keep you posted.
He's a big boy.
So we're back in Canberra. Just wasn't happening on that previous place. We baited it, we fished it so well, and just couldn't get on the fish. I'm wondering whether the winter's got to them and it's just made them shut up shop a little bit. That's my excuse anyway. So with 2 or 3 nights left, we thought we'll come back to Canberra and try this area here. Nice looking spot. No algae in the water, so it's looking a bit more promising. And yeah, do a couple of nights in here. There's cod in here, there's some nice carp in here, so yeah, we need to put something together. I'm feeling pretty drained, to be honest, but as they say, it only takes one bite. But yeah, it's a nice day. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, so plenty of time to get about, hopefully find some fish, get the rods out for a couple of nights and try and relax. But yeah, let's see how we go. So decided to drop into this swim here. It's probably, I'd say, 2/3 of the way this way of the lake. The wind is going down there at the moment and I would have fancied it, but it's due to change in about 2 or 3 hours time and hack all the way down here. So we've sort of picked a spot along here. I've fished this swim before, I've done really well out of here. Different time of year, but you've got a big shallow area out front here. It starts to slowly drop off down into about 8 foot there, and it comes all the way across here and shelves back up on the left hand side here. So this is like a trough area here and it tends to do all right. So I've gone in with about 15-20 spoms, mixture of pellet, particle, just fishing a couple of tigers over the top to begin with, and then I'll probably switch over to boilies if they come on me. Not expecting anything at the moment. You wouldn't think I'm expecting anything after how this trip has gone, but I'd like to think that after a few hours, hopefully a pack of fish might get on me, but we'll see. I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, nice old spot. Going down to 4 degrees tonight, which for you guys in the UK probably feels like about -5. So I'm debating whether to do the night under the stars under these trees here, but it is going to get a bit cold. It's looking very autumnal here. But no, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Bonus points for the bench in my swim. Don't think I'll be sleeping on this though. But let's see. Don't hate on me for having my bank sticks all over the place. It's like concrete. Before anyone thinks to comment. But no, it's looking all right. Got the rods, one on that tree, one on that tree. One on each of those trees. That's where the shelf starts to come back up. Slowly but surely. It's usually a good area. Hopefully intercept a few fish as they start coming back up from the southern end on the wind. Come on. The wind's just got up, as forecasted. We've got a full moon, but I think we've got a small one on, a few head handshakes, but it's the first fish of the night. This wind's bitterly cold. I think it's about 7 degrees now, 6 degrees. Hopefully, there is quite a lot of nice fish in here, so fingers crossed we can catch one tonight or tomorrow. But could be a mirror. There's quite a lot of mirrors in here as well. Be cool if it's a mirror. Little common. There we go. First one of the night. Only a little one, but it's a start.
It's probably one of my better ones on the trip, not gonna lie. Better lookers.
You know you're in trouble when we're saying that these are our best ones of the trip,
Yeah,
but
still
still.
shitters are actually starting to look kind of appealing.
It's just crazy hearing the alarm go, eh?
I forgot this sound, to be honest with you.
I reckon you get it back out, fill the spot in with a few more spots, and fingers crossed we should be in for a couple, but
Hopefully.
let's see how we crack. Go on, let's get it back. Cod! 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 Yeah. First light, mist rolling over the trees and the cod rod's gone. I hope to God we get it in.
When you waited.
No. Come on.
You was in at it or you got it?
You'd have to.
Yeah, I got it.
Absolute coddy. That's a beast.
Big.
That's a beast.
Keep it on there.
Yeah. It's a good one. Fucking get
Good
in.
30.
Can't believe that's just happened. Nice, that.
Definitely a good 30. I reckon.
That's the last thing I expected to happen just then. Check that out. Possibly the final morning. First light. Only one carp for me during the night. Liam's had 6 or 7. Just getting ready to do photos with the common. And the cod rod's gone. I can't believe it. Let's get it up. Out. Cannot believe this has just happened. 15 minutes ago, I was ready for giving up. Just shows how things can change. What a cracking fish. It's probably I reckon it's maybe a mid-30. How's that?
Just pucker, man.
Yeah?
Should I get some good photos?
Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
Mwah, thank you. That has absolutely made my trip. 8 or 9 days of pain, and that has completely made it worth it. Oh, look at the width on this thing, mate.
What beauty.
Look at that. She's gonna go off strong. Oh, she's gonna go with you.
Oh, between my legs.
Get in.
What a morning. Go on, chap.
Yes.
Action.
There we go. A cod and a carp on possibly the final morning. Absolutely stoked. This is by far my biggest carp of the trip, which feels incredible to say, but nice little ghosty. But to end on a brace of a nice carp and a very, very nice cod. The pressure's off. The pressure was massively mounting to try and put a video together, but I guess this has tipped it off a little bit, so I'm gonna go home a little bit happier now. But yeah, speechless. I'm absolutely soaked.
Nice fish. How big is that?
It's just like driving into the lake.
I know.
It's not even a lake, it's an inland sea,
There's a
mate.
boat on there.
So we've decided to call it a day. We've done 8 nights, very tough going. Everywhere we went, it was like we were catching odd pasties here or there, or nothing. And I can honestly say I've worked less hard in the past and caught many more fish. So I don't think it's us. I think it's just the fact that there's a big cold spell that's come in. Obviously autumn's had a big impact on all the different waters we chose to go to down south. Obviously ended on a little bit of a high this morning, catching that cod and that carp. So we thought, right, let's head back to Sydney with our tail between our legs. Liam's itching to see his new missus, so he's been itching to go back for the past couple of days. But it is Friday at the moment, so we've got 2 nights left. Liam thinks I'm crazy, but I'm going to go and do 2 more nights in Sydney. We've checked the weather and it's 14-15 degrees at night and highs of 23 degrees, which is a lot warmer than where we've been, but still relatively cool for Sydney. So I feel like I'll either wrap this video up here, so if you don't see us again, it's because I've gone to the river and blanked, or if I go to the river and catch something special, I might chuck it on the end of my other river vlog that I've got coming. But yeah, it's been a good trip. We've obviously had a really good time, been to some amazing places. You guys get to see a few different places in Australia that we're lucky enough to be able to go to whenever we want. Bit unlucky on the carp fishing side, not able to put anything big together, but again, it's not just about catching big carp, it's about the scenery. So it's been a good trip. We'll finish on a high looking at this crazy Lake George that backs into the motorway here on the way back to Sydney, and we'll wrap it right there. Until next time, guys.